Navigating your child's emotions can be one of the toughest parts of being a parent. When you see them struggling, it's so hard. It can be confusing, it can be worrying, but we're here to talk about it because understanding what's really going on, that's the first and honestly the most powerful step you can take.
And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? The one that keeps you up at night. Is this moodiness, this anxiety, this defiance, is it just a normal part of growing up, or is it something more? That's exactly what we're going to try and untangle together today.
Okay, so let's get right into it. The very first step is simply knowing what to look for. This part is all about shining a light on those signs and symptoms, the things that might be telling you, hey, maybe some extra support is needed here.
Now, when we talk about mental health challenges in kids, it's not just one thing. Just look at this list. We're talking about a whole spectrum of things specialists see, from anxiety that's tied to school pressures, to the heavy weight of depression, or even behavioral issues that might be connected to something like ADHD. The big takeaway here is that these are real, distinct conditions. It's not a one-size-fits-all problem.
So what does that actually look like in your day-to-day life? Well, these are the kinds of things you might be noticing at home. Maybe it's a sadness that just doesn't seem to lift. Or, out of nowhere, their grades take a nosedive. Perhaps they've stopped hanging out with friends or lost interest in hobbies they used to love. It can even show up physically, with big changes in how they eat or sleep. The key here isn't a single bad day, but a pattern, things that stick around and really start to impact their life.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. It's so important to remember this. While, some struggles are just part of growing up, we can't automatically dismiss these persistent signs. Doing that might mean missing a chance to get them the help they need. Professional care isn't about slapping a label on your kid, it's about getting clarity and finding a path forward for both of you.
All right, so you've noticed some of these signs. You're concerned. What now? What does getting help even mean? It can feel like a big, mysterious step. So in this next section, we're going to demystify that whole process.
So, getting support is not just one thing. It's a whole plan, and it's tailored specifically for your child. It usually starts with therapy, which will look different depending on their age. For little kids, it might be play therapy. For teens, it could be something like cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. Now, medication might be part of the conversation, but it's just one tool in the toolbox, and only when it's really appropriate. Crucially, the plan also includes guidance for you, strategies you can use at home, and working with your child's school. It really is a team effort.
And that idea of a team effort, it's everything. This isn't a situation where you just drop your child off at an appointment and hope for the best. No way! The most effective care is built on a foundation of collaboration, with you and your family right at the very center of it all.
This slide does a great job of showing why specialized care for kids is so different and so incredibly important. See, adult care is all about the individual, but a child's world, it's their family, their school, their friends, that's their whole universe. So their care has to be centered around that family unit and involve all those key players in their life. You just can't treat a kid like a tiny adult.
Which, of course, brings us to probably the single biggest question that's on your mind if you're thinking about this. Okay, so what's my role here? How involved am I really going to be?
And the answer is simple, direct, and I hope really reassuring. You're very involved. You're not a bystander in this. In fact, you're an absolutely crucial partner. You're the expert on your child, and you're a core part of the team that's going to help them heal, grow, and feel better.
So when you look at the whole picture, this journey starts to look less like fixing a problem and a lot more like building strength together. The goal isn't just to get through it, but to come out the other side stronger and more resilient than you were before. I just love this quote. It's such a hopeful and powerful way to think about this, isn't it? Getting help isn't some kind of failure. It's an investment in your child's future. It's about turning a really tough time into a real opportunity for them to build coping skills that'll serve them for their entire lives.
And this is what it all leads to. This is the why. It's about so much more than just feeling better right now. It's about laying a foundation for them to succeed in school, to build the resilience to handle whatever life throws at them, and ultimately to grow into confident, happy adults.
So, let's end with this thought. Instead of seeing this as a last resort when things are at their worst, what if we reframed it? What if seeking support is actually the very first step on a path to becoming stronger, more resilient, and even more connected as a family? It's a really powerful idea to think about. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.